Welcome to the Star Blaze Music and New Podcast. We have a very special guest. Her name is Gloria.
Yes.
Make some noise. Ah, yeah. Whoa.
Hey.
There we go.
Yes.
So, Gloria.
Yes.
You have an interesting spelling to your name.
GLRYA.
Yeah. What? How did that come about?
Okay, so my name is Gloria Ry'ann. That's my government name. My mother named me that, my first and middle. But during the pandemic, I shortened my name to GLRYA, which spells out phonetically Gloria, because I needed a reset. You know, I had done a lot of background with a lot of different artists and writing for other people as Gloria Ry'ann. And I was like, how can we just make this a conversation, a question, right? Like, why is your name? What is it? They're like, people are like, Gloria, glue. But I'm fine with that. I like the question. I like the reset. The reset actually, after that, I had my first billboard in Times Square.
Oh, wow.
So it worked.
Wow.
And ended up getting a lot of great streams of my new music that came out during the pandemic. So, yeah, it was a great reset.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's... I think that's a testament to being in alignment with like spirit and knowing that it's time for a reset.
Yes.
And I think oftentimes we get caught up in what we've been doing, that like embracing that change can be very difficult.
Yes.
So, kudos to you to taking that step and being like, all right, I'm reinventing myself. This is going to be the new era.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's awesome. So I always say that the stories we tell ourselves are the most important stories. So in your own words, who is Gloria and how did you arrive at this moment?
That's a lot. That's going to be literally the little girl that was performing in front of my mother's friends and family and her company. I mean, have always been that girl. Nothing has changed about the singing and all the talent shows and all the choirs. I kept my mother very busy, was raised in a single parent household. She had to work and come to all the shows. And, I was always it's been with me. And it turns out it's in my blood. I found out that my grandfather was in a gospel quartet. I found out my father has a beautiful voice, but I don't know why we didn't talk about it. Sometimes families don't talk about things. And, yeah, my mother's mother was naturally just that, woman that was, that was known, and just it's certain things that I found out that are actually in my blood. So I came very naturally, performing, and then just again with attraction and alignment. Through that, I started from doing the talent shows. I got really serious more in college, and that's when I met Dr. Lena McLean, who also taught R. Kelly and Shaka Khan and Jennifer Hudson in Chicago. She was very well known. She recently passed. She really nurtured what had already been there, and really just she taught me classical music and gave me a wonderful foundation. So. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, I think that was great.
I don't know. It's a lot.
That was great.
Yeah.
So, you grew up in Chicago. Were you born in Chicago too?
Born in Houston.
Oh, you're born in Houston, Texas.
I have a lot there. My father's family is from Texas, from Houston, and my mother's Chicago. And then I always say I became a grown woman in New York. I became a grown woman in New York. This was really my learning grounds, where I got my first gigs.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not telling. My first gig was with Danny Boy. Remember, I Ain't Mad at You?
I don't, but...
You don't know I Ain't Mad at You, Tupac?
Oh, it's Tupac?
That's why I'm looking at the audience now.
I know Tupac. I know I've heard it.
Danny is a Chicago talent, Chicago legend, and he gave me my first gig in Chicago. But then I moved to New York, and I started working with a lot of legends, almost as soon as I got here. Yeah.
So... Houston, Chicago, and New York, those are very distinct places musically. And I'm curious, how has navigating those spaces kind of influenced how you approach music today?
I would say I'm a huge believer that where you go, you absorb, right? And you can't help but absorb the funk of Chicago, right? Yeah. The blues of Texas, that's there. New York, the beat, the boom, boom, it's so I got it going on. I got all of it, you know what I'm saying? I've learned so much from each. You know, when I go back to Texas and visit my family, my cousins, like, you know, they show me like what's hot down there. You know, the DJ Screws and the, you know, the Third Ward Boys and all of that. You know, so I get to get that piece. You know, in Chicago, it's just, you know, the Carl Thomas. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot there who I actually worked with and sang background before. But yeah, it's. Man, it's all in me, and I believe in leaving a piece of yourself where you go, and also absorbing where you are, and like learning and listening, because that's why, you know, I get to use my ears. I hear, you know, I'm listening. You know, I'm listening to the tone of your voice when you talk. You know, you're a little raspy sometimes. You might need a little water. I might need some water. But I love it. I get to, you know, these are things that we don't think about, these abilities that we have. They're gifts, you know, and part of my job is listening. And I love that I've really tuned into that, you know. And our bodies are, you know, our skeletons are tuning forks. Do you know that? You know
that. Like,
okay.
Yeah, so like I know you can actually get tuning forks and like kind of like reset your frequencies.
Yes.
And all that stuff.
Yes.
So
yes,
my mom actually she
it's
does
all there. It's all in us.
Absolutely. So. We like it, and it's all vibration.
Yes.
Right? And I think that's like part of the reasons why music is so powerful. Like more so than like a lot of different mediums. Not to like knock other mediums, but at least in my experience, music is something that like I feel it deeply.
Yes.
And like when I think about like having like transcendental moments, it's always through the avenue of music. And I think that's a testament to like just pure vibration and pure frequency and things like that.
That's right. I take it very serious. Like there's a like fun glow, like let's have a good time, have some reposado tequila.
Yeah.
And then it's like when I get to like the stage, because also the people who I was trained by, like, you know, they didn't play. You know, Miss McLean, like if you like missed a note, like she would like physically touch you. Like she'd be like, sing the note, girl, you know, and I'd be like, okay. You know, so I mean I take it very serious, and when it comes to learning and listening on stage, like you don't get to come and play. You don't get to be a jerk. You know, we're here to do a job, and we're here to do it well. And we should all want to make each other better. You know, so I truly believe in that. That's the grounds I came on. That's what I was taught. And like, listen, I was like the youngest kid, like, you know, on some of the tours, and it's like you will get left, you will get cussed out, like like it wasn't a game. And some people, I think that people like they think it's cute and it's a game, because this social media era has made it look like you can get it easy, you can get it fast, fun, You can skip a step, but you can't skip a step. You can't. Like, you know, some singers I hear, and I'm like, you know, you want to maintain your gift, you're going to lose your voice, you know, because you have to really know how to get to, like, if you're having a tough week, how you can get over that, you know. And I'm like, that's what I'm like hearing. I'm like, you know, it's nothing wrong with listening and learning and taking some classes. I love that, you know.
Absolutely.
I would take a class, you know.
Absolutely.
So
I always tell people, like, I meet a lot of different musicians at like different levels, and I always tell people it's like if you're gonna do this, you gotta like do it 100%, because I think sometimes, and to your point, like in the social media era, people see like different musicians popping off, and they're like, oh, I'll get into music and it's gonna be an easy lick, and I'll be rich and famous. But I'm like, the amount of commitment, the amount of sacrifice that's required for you to actually like do this the correct way is like not for the faint of heart. So it's like really have a conversation. If you're trying to make this a career, like really think about like what that looks like. Yeah. And to you, like, I feel like you've managed to do that, you know, despite like not having like a huge like viral moment or anything like that. You've been able to like create a career as a working musician. And I kind of just like want to hear you speak on that, because I think for like a lot of people entering this space, it just kind of feels foreign. It's like, how do I do it? Like, what does that look like? Like, what's a real tangible way to like do this thing?
Well, I know I'm not the most known. I know I'm terrible at my social media. I'm going to get better. But I can say that I actually love the steady, slow and steady, you know, the consistent. I have worked a lot, and I don't talk about it often, and there's been heartbreak. And I have seen a lot of my friends, like, their hearts be broken by not getting a viral moment or not getting, you know, some people are reaching for that. You know, I would say I'm reaching for more of a steady foundation for my family, for my future, for the next generation after me. And while I'm still, you know, in my career, like, I still want to make sure that I'm actually teaching and passing on what's been given to me, you know. have worked with some amazing artists. I've learned from them. You watch how they treat people. You see something, you be like, that ain't gonna work. That's not good, And then I see some that are like my idols, and I'm glad. Sometimes they say don't meet your idols, but I've met a lot of my idols that I'm glad I have. Then I met people who are not my idols that are not very nice, and you just see where they end up. It's all lessons and blessings, and it's just learning tools, and I'm just grateful for what I've done.
No, that's awesome. And you're
I'm still doing,
Yeah. And it's like the story is still unfolding. You know
yes,
what I mean?
yes.
And you're like hitting on like all of my questions already.
Oh.
But you've worked with a lot of different people, a lot of legends, Sting, Paul McCartney, Rihanna, Carl Thomas, Deborah Cox. And you kind of touched on it before, but like what after like being in space with these people, working with these people, staring the stage with these people, what's something that you've kind of taken away and like have implemented into your own craft? And then part 2 of that question, who was the stand-up person to work with?
Okay, what have I taken from them and put into my own craft? To maintain your gift and your tool, and to constantly work on it. It's not just the getting up and singing. It's not just the practicing. It's the working out. It's the breathing exercises. It's the making sure that you maintain the ins and the outs of your body, keeping your brain meditating, keeping your balance, and all of this thing called life that we're flowing through, right? And it's a lot going on around us, not losing yourself through it, and just going through it, We're really also feeling, and that's where the art comes from, from the maintaining all of those things and having balance it and all. Let me see. And what was the other part? What'd you say?
How, out of all these people that you've worked with, who was somebody that like really left a lasting impression?
So many. Okay. First of all, Ashford Simpson gave me my first gig. Well, Ray Chu, the musical director, gave my first gig in New York to work with Ashford Simpson. Wow. And the nurturing that they have done for so many artists and that they're still doing, rest in peace, Nick Ashford. But I have to give them props and credit, stand out. Rihanna is a good time. She's cool. She's cool. She has her boundaries. She don't play. She's an island girl. Deborah Cox is fun. It's a lot. It's a lot. Freddie Jackson, taught me the oohs and the ahs of like just moving and breathing, through singing and everything. Everything's not hard and harsh and but it's a lot of people. But those are the main ones. Jennifer's a Chi-Town girl. She's so Chi-Town. Love working with her. But those are the main ones that have really like left like a special place in my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, based off of our conversation so far, you strike me as a very, very spiritual person. And I think it's interesting that, you're a singer and singing revolves so much around the breath. And then you also speak about meditation, which is also often centered around the breath. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of like speak on the influence of meditation or prayer, like within your day-to-day life and within your music?
Meditation taught me to quiet. Like, a lot of times artists and people and creatives, like it's a lot of ideas, thoughts, it's a lot going on there, and that taught me how to quiet the voices and to really listen and to center, which I started meditating like 2000, maybe 13. It was a tough time, tough year, and my growth as a human. And no, I'm sorry, maybe 2012. But yeah, we all have our desert seasons, and that was a serious desert season for me. I was supposed to go on tour with Lady Gaga. Oh, wow. And moved my whole life from the East Coast to the West Coast. Brought my dog, packed up my place, and then the tour got canceled. And I had to find work on the West Coast, and it didn't work out. Yeah. And I was like, I knew I had to pivot and figure something out. I started meditating, and I knew I had to get back to the East Coast. For me, that's what I needed, and that's when things came right back together. But I needed that season. Yeah. It was great. It was hard then. I had met Gaga, the band, the music, all the things. I was about to be on a world tour, honey. And it just wasn't meant to be, but it was a great lesson again. So it's wonderful. I teach my child to do it and to breathe and to just quiet yourself. I also chant. I believe in chanting. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. But people, sometimes Black folks, we get scared of that. Like, what's that mean? No,
What's going on?
And that's just making sure that everything what's in here is, I can come to my full potential of everything that I am and everything I want to do, and the ideas that I can bring them out. That's all. And I still pray, praise the Lord, because we can't not do that, 100%. But people are like, what does that mean? Can you do that? And can you mix it? You have to. We are different levels to our spirituality. And it's all just making sure that we are able to give all the things and manifest all the things within us. So, it is a part of me. I'm very serious about it. We have to pray. Especially during these times, 100%. And we have to protect ourselves, our families, our loved ones, our pets, whatever. But yeah, that's very big in who I am now, and now I understand why I went through the tough times that I did go through, Absolutely. And I also understand why I'm not, maybe somebody was like, how come you're not a bigger artist? I'm like, well, all things take time, for one, and, I'm going to be exactly who I'm supposed to be. 100%. I'm not supposed to be B. B is B. G is G. You know what I'm saying? So that's all the things that are necessary for me and my growth. Yeah.
I think, at least in my experience, they always say comparison is the thief of joy, right? And, I think as an artist, like, especially in the social media age and, like, working in proximity, I think sometimes, like, you do compare yourself, but I often have to remind myself that everybody is on their own timeline.
Yes.
And just because something's happening for this person right now doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to happen for me. It's just I'm on a different path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to your point, you're kind of talking about like the slow burn. I always say that you want a slow burn because it's like the quicker the rise, oftentimes the quicker the fall.
Yes.
And it's like you want to have that foundation. You want to be able to, really have community.
Yes.
A community of like-minded people that, got your back regardless. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. But I also, like, people don't know that I've been, like, the voice of, like, television commercials and like, I've been the voice of, like, in movies, songs, and, like, they're like, we didn't know. I'm like, okay, I like that, Listen, I like the little...
Just low key, if you know,
low key, yeah. Those that don't know and those that don't, you might find out one day. But I love that, the people are like, we didn't know, Gloria. I'm like, I know, I've been on major stages doing my own songs overseas and and other festivals, and they're like, we didn't know. I'm like, I know.
But and like to that, like I think that's powerful as well because it's like a lot of people are about to talk. But it's like what's more important than the talk is actually doing the thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, you did it. So it's like, you don't necessarily...
I ain't got to talk about it.
You know what I mean? Like, so...
I mean, I guess I need to talk about it. But I also like people like the surprise of it, And of course, we base everything on happening in the U.S., right? It's like,
absolutely.
is it on TikTok? And, it's like, it's not necessarily. But, that don't mean I didn't do it. It got done.
People were there. I was there.
I was there. So, yeah.
So, I'm curious. You've done... countless live shows, like you said, you've been all over the world and stuff like that. What, in your opinion, what's the difference between having like a great voice and being able to command a stage?
The difference in having a great voice and being it's all connection. I mean, there are plenty of, and what is a great voice? Like, you could think what I think is different. We could disagree on that, It's connecting. That's the most powerful thing. On these stages, when you get up there in front of people, if it's 10 people, if it's 100,000 people, are you connecting? Are they seeing you? Are they seeing your heart? Because it's the heart that matters. That's what my mentor says. And it's just like, it's the heart that matters, Are you really showing people who you are? Are you showing them a representative? Like, what are we getting? Are you really happy doing what you're doing? Because we're going to see it. If you're having a bad day or you have it, but it's the human connection. And if you are having a bad day, listen, today was, I missed the train. I bumped my toe. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being, people like, honestly.
No, that's real.
If you just come out like, ugh. They're gonna be like, girl, we don't want to see,
No, that's true.
It's definitely the connection of it and just being honest with yourself, being honest with your crowd, with your, whoever that you're entertaining and the people, and yeah.
That's big, and I think that's powerful because I think oftentimes artists will get caught up in the illusion of like, oh, everything needs to be good all the time, everything needs to be positive and stuff.
No.
And it's like, I believe that the connection comes from like, oh, I'm having a bad day, and I'm like, I'm gonna let y'all know because like that's what's real.
Yeah.
Because people have bad days.
And then you can have this conversation, even though it's not, necessarily talking, but when you tell your audience that, and then they can like feed you and they can like give you energy back. And you be like, tag, I really needed y'all. I need to thank you, thank you so much for giving me that back. And knowing that sometimes we get depleted too. When you're on stage and you like giving and you get off and you're tired and sometimes you're there. Listen, everybody has their time and their days, but it's really the honesty that matters.
Absolutely. So when you're having one of those days, like, what are some things that you do to kind of recenter? I know we talked about meditation, but like, what else are some things that help you kind of come back to yourself and realign?
Rosé.
Yeah.
French rosé.
That works.
A good meal. I love to cook.
Yeah.
I'm really good at cooking. That's like my thing.
What's your specialty dish?
I have a lot of them, but my family, Rock and Quincy, they love my meatballs.
Yeah.
I know it sounds corny, right? But no, I stuff mine, which I'm saying. I got little secret recipes. Anything seafood.
Okay.
I'm big on that. I like trying recipes and stuff. That helps center me. I like a very organized space that I'm in. Like I will literally go to my friend's house and like start organizing. I will start sweeping. I don't like nothing on my feet. And my shoes are off. We relax, and I will light a candle. I love candles. I love scents and different. Like I have my air diffusers all around the house.
No, I get it. The essential oils go.
Yes, that is my thing.
I get it.
Yeah, I love listening to my music. I play a lot of frequency music, and rock is like
binaural beats or just like straight.
It's called Manifestation. This playlist I have, and it's just bowls and it's frequencies, and it's he's just like, turn it off. I'm like, but but it helps. I love it, like especially at night, and he's like,
yo, what are you listening to?
Turn off that soul frequency.
It's been 4 hours.
I have it on throughout the night. And so I think he's gotten a little used to it. Maybe he hasn't. I don't know. But I love that. I love my music. I love my 80s music. Oh, I'm an 80s music girl.
Yeah.
I love, it's mostly like, I think 70s, 80s, but mostly 80s because that's just like the era I grew up in. Like I was looking at a playlist or something on Instagram, like the best songs is like 1985, and it was like all of my favorites, like Prince,
there we go,
and like Madonna and Cyndi Lauper. I mean, that's just Phil Collins. I don't know, that's just
the
my things.
Like the heavy hitters.
Yeah, it was so much. It was everybody, Lionel Richie. Like they were all out around the same time, So, man, these people they don't understand. Like,
I'm like 100%. Like the level, like it's not competition, but like
how
good you had to be. It was like a different level.
Come on, it was Michael. It was so much going on, but it was all out around the same time. Then you put like Duran in there, and you throw in like the yacht. I mean, come on, it was a lot going on. Yeah. But oh man, they made each other better.
Exactly.
So I love 80s, and it's always some music and wine and food for me. Yeah. Always, yeah.
I like that. I like that. So you're the front woman for the Rakiem Walker project. How did that develop? How did that relationship blossom? What's the origin story?
That's interesting. So, met him one time. This was one time my ex introduced me to him at this open mic. Hi. And then we re-met. When I got after that tour that didn't happen with Gaga, I got fired, and I came back to New York. I'm like, I got to get back on the scene. Like, I need to work. Got to get back in the crowd. And I saw him at Red Rooster, and no, I'm sorry, I saw him he was at the closing of the Lenox Lounge, a very historic lounge, Harlem Lounge, and I sang there. He gave me his card. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, because I was still like trying to figure it out. And I'm like, he's like, if you're ready to work, call me. I called him like the next week, like, I'm ready to work. I was ready to work. And I just started singing with him at Rooster and doing his private parties at Red Rooster. And that's how it went from working together to a great friendship. And now we're I'm married. That's my husband. And we have a preteen, I guess, I don't know, Quincy. And now we have hamsters.
Oh, you have hamsters? What? How many hamsters, and what are their names?
Oh, okay. So Quincy named them.
Okay.
It was we have 8 hamsters.
Yo, you got a pack of hamsters. It's a crew.
Okay, first of all, Rock used to breed hamsters when he was a kid. So
really?
it's really his hamsters.
Oh, interesting.
But now I like them because they're mini hamsters. They're like.
Okay. They're not like I'm thinking of like gerbils, like the thick
We have 2 of them.
Oh yeah.
No, okay, so we have 2 of the teddy bear hamsters, right?
Okay.
They're a little bigger, right?
Okay.
And then we have 6 other ones. Anyway, that's Quincy named them. One is Bushwick and Othello. That's the teddy bear ones.
Okay.
He's really good at naming animals. Then the little ones, the small one, Moonshine, Jeffrey Pickles, Melissa, Kyle. And now they have 2 of them there's 2 babies, and one is Rebel, and I think Todd or something, like, yeah.
Okay. That's a nice mix. That's a nice mix of names.
I did not want them things, and now they're cute. And I'm like, oh my God, you feed the hamsters?
You got an attachment to them.
And I give them little snacks, and they reach up. And But yeah, so that's how we came together working with Rakiem. And Rakiem I love bragging on him. It's so cool about him is that he has, again, hamsters, but also like people think he's like this mean jazz, cat, but he has such an interesting respect of music and just life also. His perspective is really cool. I've really learned a lot from him, which is why we became friends. But it's also, he's my favorite person to work with. Like, I don't not want to work with him. Mm-hmm. I've taken a few gigs here and there, and I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to get back to working with Rakiem. And I also, I own the company with him and all the things. And, but yeah, we have went from just doing music, and now we have our own foundation where we'll be expanding our platform and having our own festivals, and also teaching. We have the Walker Entertainment Group Academy. So it's like something we're getting really into the sauce of it all.
That's really cool.
The thick of it all. Yeah. So it's not just about the music, but also again expanding and this platform from not just music and creating and writing, mm-hmm. but what's next? Like what's Quincy? He's actually what's he gonna get? What is he gonna get from it? So.
What's the name of the foundation?
Walker Entertainment Group Foundation. Yes, and it's ran by our partner Nicole Evans Hendricks, mm-hmm. and we've just started expanding that this year. So it's so exciting, the building that platform and the foundation of that mm-hmm. is exciting. That's
really cool, and I think music is powerful in itself, but I think sometimes it's hard to measure the tangible impact, mm-hmm. and I think entering the space of doing these things that you're going to embark on, you can start to see real tangible, you took this class and now I actually sing full time and different things like that. So I think that's really cool, and I think that's really powerful.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, you said that in a past interview, you said that more or less you said that music saved your life. Mm-hmm. What would you say to the little girl that's in Chicago, maybe wants to pursue music, doesn't know how, or what would you tell her?
Well, I said music was the fabric of my soul, because I've always been around music. It's always been. My mom, I literally was playing my mom's record player, listening to her albums and playing Tina Marie and all the things. Man, and there are times when I didn't feel necessarily supported by my family, where they didn't come to everything, but something in me told me to keep going and keep doing it. So it's finding that space and that voice within. It's reading. It's, watching documentaries. It's just really, just because I went through this route, I knew I was going to go the background route because all my favorite artists had sang background. From Whitney Houston to Shaka to Aretha to Luther, they sang background. So I would just say, keep learning, keep reading, keep watching, listening. It's always something to learn and to notice, and to, the books and the biographies. I love biographies. Mm-hmm. Man, you never know what pocket it's going to place you in, and you always talk about hearing about coming through the cracks and, finding your little space to break through. But it really, like, it could bring you to the back. It could bring you to the front. It could bring you to, maybe painting for an artist. I don't know. It's just trying things and just not skipping any steps. So that's really important. Really important. The foundation. Yeah.
I get that. That's awesome. So at the moment, there's a blossoming relationship happening with Starblaze Music Group.
Yes.
What does this new era, this next chapter, kind of represent for you?
This is about bringing it over the finish line. Like, lift. I told Nicole, I was in Rock, I'm like, listen, ain't nobody going to stop this. Mm-hmm. I've had different managers. I've had different producers. This is like, get out the way. Mm-hmm. Like, we're stepping into another chapter of, my life as a mother, as a wife, as a friend. What are those boundaries and all those things look like with people? I'm really mindful of who I spend time with, because I'm always the one that's like encouraging and and like just trying to uplift my girlfriends. Do this, try this, try this and pray and change. But now this is like I don't have time to do that right now. I've done that. This is really about taking this whole thing and lifting it and taking it over the finish line.
There we go.
And that's doing my own tours, our own festivals. Really placing our name in the books of this history. That we've created, not only just within New York, but with internationally. And doing that how we see that looks like comfort, and it looks like joy, and it looks like bringing other people joy, but not being tired and by it, tired of it. It's like working with people who are like-minded, who are ready to fight and do, but it's so cool to like be around creatives and like, people who are like, listen, this, yes, let's do it. Instead of I've done the negative, I've done the other, okay.
The low key haters.
I've done the low frequency. If I get an inch of low frequency, I'd be like, you gotta
doubters,
go.
Yeah.
You gotta go. If I get the funniness or the any divisive attitudes or perspective, like no. If I get the I don't know, no. This is about.
There we go.
Whoop, over the finish line, because that's
extra weight holding it down. I get it.
I've done that. Yeah. No, not now. We have too much information, and we have too much, experience to let those things happen again. And ain't nobody stealing. I've had producers steal from me. Really? It's not happening. Because now I also have a protection too. I think this looks like protection. This looks like really bringing it over the finish line with a group of like-minded people.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, switching gears a little bit. You said Quincy is 12?
He'll be 12 soon, yeah.
He'll be 12. How has navigating music while raising a little one and, cultivating a family, how have you managed to balance that? What does that look like for you?
It's hard.
Yeah.
No, the cool thing about what we have created is that Quincy comes with us.
Yeah.
If he's not with us, he's near. He's, when we go to tours, we try not to leave him for more than 5 days. He comes with us overseas. He comes with us to different cities, and he's with us. So hopefully he's listening and learning. I know when my mom was teaching me, my mom would always say, come in the kitchen, come watch me cook. And I'd be like, I don't want to watch you cook. And now I'm like, I got all of that and I absorbed it all, without even realizing it, So I think having our child with us, and, he may not, he was in here playing on the piano a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So, we kind of just, and we're not pushing him to do music or anything. He's still, we tell him all the time, you be a kid. If you want to do it, have fun. He gets to do his soccer. He plays with his friends that are twins, and they're cute, and they just, they ride their bikes, all the things. So, no, but sometimes it has been hard. I would say that it's getting, now that he's a little older, it's getting better. It's getting easier. Yeah. Yes. But when he was little, it's like, it was like, dag, how am I going to do this? But we made it happen. Yeah. He's really been with us for the ride, and he might get sick of me sometimes because I stay on him. I gotta stay on him. My mom stayed on me. I was like, ugh, here she come again. Sometimes I would ignore her, and he does the same to me.
Yeah.
But like, I know he's doing what I used to do. Damn, I did the same thing.
It's the karma.
And it's coming right back to me. But I know he's listening, and we'll get through it. It's a really cool time that he gets to see us. And sometimes I'm like, do you even care, Quincy? He's like, it's my mom on stage. I'm like, does he care? Yeah.
Regular.
But I think he cares.
Yeah.
I think so.
He's just a little cool though.
Yeah, and his teachers would tell me, like, he says he really loves his favorite band is the Rakiem Walker Project. I'm like, I'm a part of that.
That's the ultimate cosign.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So he'll wear the gear, the t-shirts. So he's not embarrassed to wear the shirts to school. Thank goodness, So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me just recalibrate. How you feeling?
Good.
You feeling good?
A little hot, but
It's
it's a little. It's not terrible though.
I was just saying.
It's worse outside.
When you talk about the hamster thing, I was like, all right, so you give him breathing weird sounds.
No.
He gives you hamster.
It feels like, based off what you're saying, like you're giving Quincy the freedom to kind of explore like what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a song called Freedom.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Are you sure?
Or it's free. It's called
Free. Yeah, I was like,
Free, my bad.
I do. Free.
You have a song called Free.
Yes.
What does free/freedom mean to you? Like, what does that look like?
Well, the lyrics of the song are, while searching, I'm still learning, but I'm free. I'm free. Falling, never failing, but I'm free. I never want to be the kind of girl that always fucks it up. I just want to be the kind of winner that my heart can trust. Just making my own way. So that's freedom. Okay. Making the mistakes. Falling but not failing. Searching. Learning. Bumping my, that's freedom. And we all deserve that. And I might fuck up. I might mess up. We all mess up. I can admit that. And I love that I can, apologize and get right back up and move on, So that's free to me on this here Juneteenth day of this interview. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. I love it. Come on. Yeah.
So, we talked about, you embarking with Starblaze Music and, doing the foundation and all these different things. Aside from that, like musically, like what's next for you? Are you working on a project? Is there an album in the works? Like what's going on?
Working on I've had an EP that released years ago. Plenty of singles, but like a complete project with a complete idea, like an actual I look forward to that. That's gonna be very soon. Next up is a single for the summertime. What that says, which Quincy helped me actually write, because Quincy, when it's the funny thing how it came about is when he be doing his homework and writing, and then we be reading and then he be like, and the dog said, what that say? And so we wrote a song called What That Say.
Ooh, I like
yeah,
that.
So he actually is accredited as a writer on the song. So
that's cool.
So yes, single projects, tours, let's go.
That's awesome.
Yes, video content, all the things.
Love it. And
yeah.
I'm very excited to see how everything unfolds.
Me too.
Is there anything that you wanted to talk about? Is there anything that you wanted me to ask or anything like that, or no?
No. I like your questions. You was good on this here Juneteenth day.
There we go.
You was good.
All right.
I think you covered it all.
All right, thank you.
Right? Yeah. That boy good.
All right, so that has been the Starblaze Music and News Podcast. Let's give it up one more time for Gloria. Yeah! Woo, woo, woo.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if you enjoyed this conversation, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, drop a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one.